The Screensavers, followed by Players at 8 and Sweat at 8:30.
Coming up tonight, Rip and Burn DVDs on your PC or Mac. It's a new Dark Dip, plus control your flash animations. And what does that annoying maintenance required light on your dashboard mean? You're about to find out because live from the Tech TV studios in San Francisco, it's the Screensavers!
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Screensavers. I'm Patrick Norton.
And I'm Kevin Rose. Thanks for joining us on the Screensavers. This audience is going crazy. Happy audience. The only place on TV where you can be sure to get live product demos, interviews, tips and tricks, and the very best in computer health.
Great show. Amazing show. Kevin's going to show you how easy it is to rip and burn DVDs with your Mac or PC for
backup.
Archival
purposes.
Ripping is merely referring to removing the data from the potentially dying media.
That's right.
To preserve it.
Correct.
For your own fair use.
Archival.
Yeah, and I'm going to help you get rid of that annoying check engine light. What does a check engine light mean? Why? It's amazing. You can tell so much. You can look actually at what's going on inside of your car's computer.
Yeah, I saw you hooking. You're actually interfacing with your laptop to your car's computer.
There's some scary stuff you can learn. And you know what? It's getting like any car made after '96 is almost impossible to work on without accessing that data at some level or another.
Nice.
Annoying.
This is something people can buy for their own home, though, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very
cool. And Dan, what are you up to today?
I'm taking your phone calls as usual, aren't I? The phone number is 888-989-7879, and the email address to email us is thescreensavers@techtv.com. Call an hour before the show. This is the best your best chance of getting on. And don't forget, if you have a Netcam, you get a free Screensavers T-shirt. Not so bad.
Wow. That's right. For all the new viewers out there, we are a live show.
Yes.
Hour before the show. Get your calls answered. Now let's start off with the tech news that caught our eye today. Sarah has the first story.
The first story is a big announcement they've all been waiting for. Sun Microsystems will make Solaris, their widely used server OS, open source. Yes. Well, this is very exciting for the programming community, and I know many of you have been waiting with bated breath to hear this news. We're all just going to have to continue being a little more patient because, unfortunately, no date has been given for the release. But it is set to go. Maybe
I'm kind of stoked about
sometime.
this.
You know what this means? 6 months maximum, they're going to open source Windows.
You think?
I don't know. It's just this is kind of weird. Solaris, in case you don't know, Solaris is Sun's primary operating system. It's one of the most popular operating systems used to run servers. You might be using them at work.
Right.
You've certainly used them on the internet. It's a proprietary version of Unix. It's a similar code structure to Linux, although they're divergent paths on the Unix tree.
This is a pretty interesting thing though, because it allows them to. They're kind of competing against themselves. One thing that's always been the problem with Solaris is that on the x86 side, meaning the Pentium processor side and the AMD side of things, it's always been a really crappy operating system. Solaris is always kind of...
They were all about the RISC chips up until...
they were all about the RISC chips.
The RISC chips were much, much faster, and then they just sort of stopped going forward.
So hopefully when they open this up, it'll allow for some third-party programmers to get involved and improve some of this code so it'll make it better, better operating system to run on our AMD 64s or anything that we want to put it on.
We like that.
So that's kind of cool.
Interesting thought, something to keep your eyes open for.
Yes, indeed.
We'll keep you posted.
Story number 2, Network Associates, Inc. has been granted a broad U.S. patent for technology that covers various computer program products, systems, and methods for filtering unwanted email messages. The patent encompasses the use of multiple spam filtering techniques, such as compound and Bayesian filters. The question now is, how is it going to affect competitors? What do you think, guys?
It's kind of really, this is one of those things where somebody comes up with an idea, a lot of different applications start using it, right? Basically, Bayesian filtering is one of the most popular ways of controlling spam. And now, somebody that didn't really invent it has decided to get this nice broad patent on it. The United States Patent Office has given them the patent for it, which means they could potentially stop the production of a lot of commercial and, more importantly, open source and free tools for controlling spam.
Yeah.
This is annoying.
I know. They filed a patent in, I believe it was December of 2002. And like you said, a very, very broad patent. So I don't know. I hope they don't go after companies. Like, this reminds me of what was it, Pan Am?
Yeah.
They got the patent for e-commerce, and it was like and they started suing everyone because they have e-commerce websites. It's just,
first we're going to sue the little companies, and then we have a big enough bankroll, we're going to go after the banks. Because ATMs, Pan IP. It's, we haven't heard a lot from them lately, but who knows? There's like on one hand, there's a business model for companies that are trying to basically use lawsuits as a way to generate capital. Another example is this, where a company who has a huge presence decides to patent something, and everybody's like, so I didn't invent it. Why would I patent it?
Yeah.
It's almost like if you come up with a good idea, you should patent it, so then you can make it open for anyone's use.
Exactly. I was going to say, I mean, a lot of the times when we see stuff like this happens, they tend to open it up. They go open source with the project. Right. That way they can't come after them and they say, hey, it's all open source code, but, we'll see. Yeah. I don't know.
It's going to be really interesting.
Hopefully they're going to, remain good in this one.
Network Associates,
don't sue anybody.
For our last story, you guys ready to hear something out of this world?
Let's do it.
Okay. The first privately built spacecraft, Spaceship One, will be launched toward space on June 21st. Spaceship One is just one of several projects that hope to win the X Prize competition, which will award $10 million to the team that sends 3 people into space, brings them back to Earth, then repeats the flight within 2 weeks. Spaceship One will cruise beyond the atmosphere nearly 62 miles above the Earth for 3 minutes. The boundary of space is 62.5 miles up. That's kind of a crazy thing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. This is not the first privately built spacecraft. Lots and lots of spacecraft have been built. This may be the first privately built spacecraft. So effectively, the X Prize is for the person to launch a vehicle into space, have a recovery, and have it be relaunchable. The first organization that can hit that is going to get a $10 million prize. This group is definitely a step ahead of everybody else.
Now, are they saying they want to turn this into something like a commercial venture where they're eventually going to start charging to have people go up in space?
Well, it's interesting. Did you ever read about like Lindbergh, and there were all these contests that were put together, and it's like fly across the Atlantic solo, right? Which is you can't imagine how insane that was at the time. A lot of people died trying to win this prize money, but the idea was like you could have nonstop intercontinental flight. That was a wild dream back then. Now this is somebody saying we're going to throw up. Here's $10 million. Somebody go out, put together, a rocket ship or whatever your plan, whether it's a rocket or, as in the case of the one coming out of this group, it launches on a plane and then launches off a rocket and then lands separately. But the idea is to foster tremendous growth in a short period of time. But it's like the ultimate science project.
Right. I mean,
so cool.
We've seen this in other things too. Like DARPA is a good example. You went out to the DARPA challenge. What was the prize there for creating?
It was $1 million to basically complete. Have a completely autonomous, self-driven vehicle travel this, 100-mile, 175-mile off-road course.
That's kind of cool, though.
But yeah, it's a great way.
Would you ever do it if they said, hey, it's $30,000, $40,000, you get to travel up into space, do it for 3 or 5 minutes?
In a heartbeat.
You would?
I'd want it for a couple days.
Would you do it, Sarah?
Never.
Never?
No, I'm just staying on Earth.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to get far enough away from Earth to be able to see it as a big blue marble. That would be cool. Incredible.
I wonder if you can do that when it's only that high. I think you have to go higher than that.
You know what? If they're going to make this work.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like Burt Rutan's crew. These are brilliant aeronautical engineers. These are full-on, smart math people. They're going to do it.
You be the first one to go. I'm not going.
I'm in. You got a seat. I'll go.
Thanks, Sarah.
After the whole story about how everyone died trying in the last challenge.
Yeah.
No.
You know what?
I belong on the Earth with the gravity.
Yeah, but it's funny that I'm going to go off on a tangent. Sorry. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, Patrick.
Jason joins us on the Tech TV National Network.
National Network.
Hey,
actually,
Jason. Wait. Shouldn't it be the G4 Tech TV?
That's right.
Netcam Network.
Dan didn't change it. Dan's slipping again.
I'll make sure I'm on that.
All right.
You on
yes.
Jason, are you there?
G4 Tech TV Network. How about that one?
There we go.
Hey, Jason.
Hello.
How are you today?
Pretty good. How about you, Patrick?
Outstanding. Yeah, I'm off on a lot of tangents, so be careful what you ask me.
Okay.
What can we do for you today?
A friend told me about this thing called Internet 2.
Oh.
And I was kind of curious about that and if I could use it somehow or anything like that.
Internet 2.0.
Yes.
He probably told you about some crazy transfer speeds that people are getting and fast downloads and gaming. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, he said something like 9 gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Internet 2 is fast. It's really fast. But it's primarily for universities.
Right.
That's the problem. Universities have created this huge backbone to connect with each other, and it's screaming fast. In fact,
let's say you have a space telescope.
Yeah.
And the space telescope is generating like a gigabyte of data every tenth of a second, and you end up with 200 or 300 gigabytes of data.
You're not going to want to take that data and send it to another university over like 30 hops over the standard
Dear
internet.
Bob at MIT, please advise.
Drag attachment
275 hard drives are being drop shipped. You get the idea here. Huge amounts of data.
That's a big email attachment.
Yeah. It's not going to. It's like downloading Linux the first day it's released. You just wait.
On a 14.4.
And you wait, and a couple days later, you still haven't downloaded anything.
So,
but what it is though, it's like kind of like the X Prize. Did you catch the X Prize tangent, Jason, where we talked about, this is like basically they've sat down and they said, okay, what's the problem with the internet now? How do we make it faster? How do we make it work better? And when the internet started, it was a half dozen research institutes that wanted to communicate electronically.
Right.
And they did it over phone lines. This is that times I don't know, a couple dozen orders of magnitude.
It says right here it's 206 universities that are working together. More can be found at internet2.edu, by the way.
Yeah.
That is the website to go to. So if you want to know I have to say, though, one site that I'm going to do a dark tip on later, or actually just a tip on later, is that it was a site that was on the Internet 2 backbone that was offering Linux ISO downloads. And I was getting some insane transfer rates, like stuff I had never seen come over my DSL before.
Which brings up a really good point. Now, even if you have like the big giant pipe, Jason, even if you have this huge connection, if the server at the other end isn't fast, you're not going to see any performance improvement. It's kind of like having like a 6-lane highway all to yourself with no cops, and driving across Kansas. If you got a Ferrari, you're going fast. If you're in a Volkswagen, doesn't matter how big and empty that highway is, you're still doing 44 miles an hour.
Okay.
So, and part of it's like, the internet's got to be faster. It's great. The servers have to serve faster. Your end connection, your local, broadband connection has to be faster.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that's when you finally get to a point where you have a big enough pipe coming into your house that your home network's going to want to be faster. You're going to want it to be fast.
So, Jason, right now there's not a whole lot you can do on the Internet, too, unless you're attending one of these universities that has a connection to it.
Okay.
Even then, you're not going to you'll be able to trade files with friends, maybe, if they give you that kind of access that's on another Internet 2 connection. I am going to show you an application coming up here in the next month or so that will show you how to tap in and download Linux ISOs from Internet 2.
Dude, I just transferred Dark Side of the Moon in 0.2 of a second.
That would be awesome. Imagine Kazaa on Internet 2. That would be hot. I'd be down with that.
That'd be scary.
Thanks, Jason.
Okay, thank you very much.
You get a T-shirt from me on the Netcam Network. Patrick's got it right there.
Why do they always throw it at our heads? This is a T-shirt upside down. We're just getting started. Later on, I'll show you how to fix that annoying check engine light on your dashboard, or at least find out what it is. And up next, back for DVD movies on Mac or PC with Kevin's latest dark tip coming at you when the screensavers continue.
Good Lord, they shooting at me. Give me the gun, give me the knife. It's true crimes, better duck your life. Hide your kids, hold your wife. It's true crimes, better duck your ice. Put your purse, stash your cash. It's true crimes, I'm about to blast. Cars, cops, and lock the door. It's true crimes, and I'm taking yours. To the store in a pickup, masking gloves. Guess what? It's a stick up. Give me all your money, honey.
True Crime, Streets of L.A. Rated M for mature.
Out my
Introducing the Chevy Equinox.
Give it to me, give me a stop.
Every garage will want one. An American revolution.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You know you're wrong, right?
Yeah.
Hearts or puppies? Hearts and puppies.
She replied to my email yet?
Oh.
How about now?
Oh.
How about these?
How about these?
Ballet?
Works every time. That was good, right? Ballet?
Life's better with the Butterfly. Come see all the ways you can get more done at MSN.com.
Gamefly. Rent the games you want, play as long as you want, for one flat rate. No due dates, no late fees. Go to Gamefly.com for your free trial.
It all starts with a chip. a chip that contains world-leading technology, together with Samsung's superior engineering and design. It does so much more. It inspires. It enriches. It's the soul of Samsung, and it's in everything we create. Experience the power within. Samsung.
OLM.net presents more true tales from the World Wide Web.
At OLM, our web hosting customers say it best.
Well, I just have an old 56K modem, but it doesn't slow me down any. With OLM, I get all the speed I need. I've been with OLM for over 2 years, and I have never had a question that they could not answer.
Visit OLM today or call 1-877-2OLM-NET. Over 200,000 websites. OLM.net.
You Sarah Taylor?
Yeah. You've won G4 Tech TV's $100,000 Digital Dig Sweepstakes.
With G4 Tech TV's Digital Dig Sweepstakes, you could win a $100,000 tech makeover for your home. From start to finish, bedroom to living room, we'll make over your home in the hottest tech stuff out there. For more details, watch G4 Tech TV from June 14th to 27th or log on to g4techtv.com/digitaldigs. Brought to you by Circuit City and Yahoo.
Welcome back to the Screensavers. It is time for another Dart Tip. Woohoo! This time, it's a common question we get all the time.
How do I clear my
throat first? Okay, go ahead, Pat.
And then I died on air. How do I copy DVDs using a Mac? You always tell us how to do it on a PC. Why not tell us how to do it on a Mac, Kevin? Kevin, tell us how to do it on a Mac. Why don't you want to know us?
Here we go. I will tell you right now. We are going to show you a couple applications, one for the PC and a few for the Mac that you have to deal with. And these are some great programs. These are completely free. Actually, this first one I'm going to show you is free. It's called DVD Backup. Let's take a look at it here. This is running OS 10 here. It's DVD Backup. And here is the disk that I want to copy. All you have to do, nice and easy, drag and drop it in.
This is, of course, a disk you own. This is backing up for archival purposes.
Well, exactly. Here are all the VOD files, all the video files in here. All you have to do is click on Process. That's going to remove the encryption, and it's also going to make it region-free. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to save it actually to a location on your hard drive and save all those unencrypted files right to your disk so that you have them. Now, from this point, you launch another application. Once you have already done that and backed them up with DVD Backup, you are going to launch a program here called DVD 2.1. And what it's going to do is going to take those decompressed VOD files and it's going to shrink them down to fit on a single layer DVD. So 4.47 gigabytes or somewhere around there. So think of it this way. When you're extracting the information from the DVD, you're actually pulling it from a dual layer disk, meaning that it stores information on 2 layers of the disk. The DVD burners that they sell right now, that are the most common right now, are single layer burners, meaning that it can only burn to this one side of the disk. So you have to compress that information down.
If it's a 4.7 gigabyte disk and you've got 8.7 or 9 gigabytes of data, something's got to go.
Exactly. So this takes the best possible compression. If you take a look here, one of the nice things about this program is that you can specify exactly what you want in here. So if there's certain sections or certain chapters that you don't want, or you don't want Spanish subtitles, or you want to take out some of the surround sound, you can save some space, and it'll actually help you get a better quality, better image quality in the long run.
Very similar to DVD-X copy that way.
Exactly. And then once you do that, you save this out. It'll save it to files, and then you launch Toast, and then you can just burn it right to a disk and then play it in your standard DVD player. The next thing I want to show you is on the PC side of things now. My favorite application, one that we've been talking about for a long time now, is DVD Shrink. It's completely free, and it works. I mean, it's awesome. So let's take a look at it here. This is DVD Shrink running, and what we've done is we've placed a disk in there, and I can show you that you can preview exactly what segments that you're looking at by just clicking on the play button here, and it's actually going to preview the movie. That's actually a dark scene in the movie, but you can scroll to anywhere that you want in the movie. And then it's going to show you that here is the disk up at the top here. It shows you exactly how many gigabytes, if we take a look, that we're taking up here. Here's this is actually taking up 4.467 megabytes of space. Same idea is whereas you can choose exactly which extras you want. If there's certain like bonus features that you don't want, you can remove them to save some space, so you get better compression. The thing I really like about this is it's an all-in-one solution, meaning that you stick the disk in, it completely decrypts it, saves the files, and then burns it. There's nothing you need to do but click on this backup button right at the top here. You click that, and it's automatically going to work with the Nero engine that's built in. Cool. You can see here you can choose region-free right here, and then just choose backup options. It'll just play a beep when the burn's done. Backs it up, and it's perfect. Works great. And that's all there is to it. This is completely free. The only program that does cost a little bit of money is the Mac DVD to One application that is a few dollars to purchase that as well. I believe it's like $29. But a lot cheaper than, your $100 like DVD XCopy solution. But you like DVD XCopy.
Well, part of the reason I like DVD XCopy is less to do with the application, but the fact that they're fighting legally to make it, or they're fighting to make it legal to make archival copies of your DVD, so you don't have to deal with the 9 copies of Snow White that your kid tossed under the couch.
Exactly.
So you can make archival copies and burn them over again.
Yes, just
that would be nice.
You let everybody at home know that you do not go out. You do not own your Netflix movies. Do not go out and back these up. These are DVDs that you actually own yourself. If you want to download any of these apps, all the links and the article I actually put on my website because we're having the transition to the new website. So just go to kevinrose.com and you can get all the links there.
That's a good idea.
Yep,
nicely done. Ladies and gentlemen, still to come. Tired of the check engine light? You want to know what it's all about? You want to find out if your dealer is going to rip you off fixing your car? We're talking about how to figure out what's going on inside your car. And up next, find out how to make your PC silent when we answer our next caller's questions. Coming up when the Screensavers continue.
What are you doing?
Shopping.
The one you want. Right now, get 10% off or 18 months no interest on all TVs $4.99 and up. Like this Hitachi 46-inch high-def widescreen with built-in DVD player. Just $15.99.99 before discount or financing. Only at Circuit City.
All your favorite classics are back in TV games, old school controllers. Play like you did back in the day with games from Namco like Pac-Man and Dig Dug, Atari including Pong and Centipede, and Activision with Pitfall, River Raid, and more. It's simple. All you need is a controller, 4 batteries, and a TV. Also available, SpongeBob SquarePants. Coming soon, classic arcade pinball, Spider-Man, and Ms. Pac-Man. Products rated E for everyone. Batteries not included. Games!
How much are you paying for internet service? $21? $23? Aren't you being charged too much? We think so. With People PC Online, you get unlimited internet access for only $10.95 a month. Go to peoplepc.com now to try us free for 30 days and compare us with your current ISP. With People PC Online, you get internet service for less than half of what the big guys cost. And that's just the beginning. You also get more local access numbers than AOL, plus a smart dialer that automatically chooses the fastest, most reliable number. So you always get the best connection. All for just $10.95 a month. Try People PC Online free for 30 days and see for yourself. Go to peoplepc.com for a quick 3-minute download of our easy-to-use software. Or call 1-800-748-7989. People PC Online, a better way to internet.
Hi, I'm Chuck Norris.
And I'm Christy Brinkley.
The Total Gym is the one piece of fitness equipment that replaces an entire gym full of equipment. It's the fastest and most effective way I've ever seen to get into shape and stay in shape. A few minutes a day is all it takes to get into the best shape of your life.
And we're not the only ones that feel this way. The Total Gym is now used in over 14,000 health and fitness facilities to train millions of people each year.
It's the favorite of everyone from world-class and professional athletes to millions of families who have it in their homes. And with over $1 billion in sales in 85 countries, the Total Gym stands alone.
And right now, you can try it in your own home, absolutely risk-free, for an entire month. You won't even be charged for shipping and handling. Or you can ask for this free DVD and information kit.
Call 1-800-322-1598. That's 1-800-322-1598.
Screensavers LAN Party.
Powered by NVIDIA.
The game is Battlefield 1942, the Desert Combat Mod, version .7. It's got new maps to kill people on, new sounds to hear people die, and all new weapons to kill people with. Now, with our transition to G4TechTV.com, our LAN Party registration has been temporarily put on hold.
What?
Yes, it has. So, what that means to you is that, don't boo, those that registered last week are going to get another chance to play. We'll be drawing names from last week's pool of registered users, so watch your email, and don't forget, you have to have the full version of Battlefield 1942 to play. We will see you tomorrow for the Screensavers LAN Party.
That should be good. We're really sorry about not being able to take the new registrants. That'll be
working on
as
it
soon as we can.
Yeah.
Nick joins us on the phone from Tucson, Arizona.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Patrick and Kevin and Sarah and everybody else.
Hey.
Hi.
Say hi, audience.
How are you, Nick?
I'm pretty good, enjoying the nice hot weather here in Tucson.
How hot is it?
It's about 103.
Is that centigrade or Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit.
Okay. Good.
What can we help you out
melting
with?
off my house.
Yeah, a lot of times when I usually upgrade my PC, I have problems with noisy stock fans and case fans. And I would like some suggestions about where I can get good name brands on quiet cooling systems.
I find that helps me sleep. I leave my computer powered on at night and like the fans running.
I had a buddy, Russ, and Russ had a system back before they started making the silent, because basically like this, the quieter fans are usually larger fans. They move at a slower number of revolutions, but they move an equivalent amount of air, right? They have different design blades and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
And he used to have this one that had like 6 what they would call bullet fans, and they sounded like 6 little tiny vacuum cleaners attached to his PC. So he had to turn his, like, when he was playing, and he was a total psycho gamer, so he'd have to have like his volume on his games turned up,
so he wouldn't hear
loud
the fans?
enough so he wouldn't hear the fans. So, you know, we feel your pain, Nick.
But
we got some websites up here. We should probably grab Yoshi.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yoshi,
we have the master of quiet PCs. He actually built a quiet PC that was one of the quietest that's ever been built, right, Yosh?
Well, I would say the quietest. It's pretty darn quiet, though. Couldn't hear it in a testing room at Dolby.
Nice.
That's quiet.
Any recommendations of fans?
Well, definitely what Pat was saying about the larger fans spinning at a slower speed will create less noise, because it's actually the tip speed of the fan that creates the noise. It creates turbulence, and that's what you're hearing is noise. So the lower the fan is spinning, the quieter it's going to be. Places like X-Oxide, Frozen CPU, all those places, they'll have listings of the decibel rating of a fan. So just check and see which one is rated lower. You can also get the little fan speed controllers and turn them down.
Now, you also use some insulation that you had on your PC.
Well, yeah, you can start using Dynamat and to reduce the vibration of the panel so it doesn't transmit as many sounds, that kind of thing. That is going to make a difference, but that's not just fan noise. That's hard drive noise. That's any vibration inside the case. That'll help with.
We should point out, we just pulled up, like Yoshi just mentioned, X-Oxide. Now, take a look at this. If you look at noise in here, it's rated as 31 decibels dBA. A quiet room would be about, 42 or 36?
About 30, mid-30s.
Mid-30s.
They'll see a lot of fans on there. They're in the under 20, like 15, 12. So.
Yeah, 15 to 12 is really quiet. That's like baby breathing on the other side of the county. Right. You're not going to hear it. So
the only recommendation would probably be to just monitor the CPU temperatures and the internal temperature of your system. When you start adding these fans, I would just hate to see something happen where if it gets too hot inside.
You don't have to have loud fans. Don't necessarily cool any faster. In fact, there are a lot of really loud fan designs, and the reason they're loud, she was talking about tip noise. Tip noise is inefficient. Instead of moving air, you're creating noise by creating turbulence with it. So slow fans aren't necessarily, bad coolers.
Right.
But they list how much air it can move in cubic feet per minute. They give you the actual dBA. So pay attention to
I'd
those
still
things.
keep an eye on it.
It's
Good thing to keep an eye on.
Everyone should watch their processor temperature. Even you.
Thanks for the call, Nick. Now here is Sarah with some news.
That's right. I have some important news for you. If you haven't heard yet, the Tech TV Digital Digs Roadshow is heading to Hotlanta, Georgia. Come on out and meet Jessica Corbin, Adam Sussler, and Morgan Webb. What a better trio could there be at the Lenox Square Mall on Saturday, June 5th. That's this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday, June 6th from noon till 5. For more information on this roadshow and future roadshows, go to g4techtv.com/digitaldigs for all the information. I might be in another one too coming up. Don't go anywhere. Learn how to add stop, start, and rewind buttons to your Flash animations. That comes in handy. But after the break, what does it mean when your maintenance required engine light comes on? And how do you turn the darn thing off? Pat will show you what to do when the Screensavers continue.
The year's most magical adventure is here in 2 days. You can pack your things and drive to a theater near you.
You must look beyond. She's gone mental.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Rated PG.
It's Ashley's 10th birthday.
New Juicy Fruit Strawberry!
All right, I think he wants it back.
Gotta have Twisted Sweet. Gotta have New Juicy Fruit Grape Melon and Strappleberry.
40 million. We're looking at P ratio a little over 50.
Hey, honey, I thought you might want to see this.
Debt, you're looking at
Go ahead, Sam, show Daddy.
Million, 780.
Yeah! Sweet!
Surprise Dad this Father's Day.
Was it 15%?
Get T-Mobile's Family Time Plan. Families talk free, and now get free video messaging.
T-Mobile. Get more.
Romantic.
Want to warm things up?
Trojan Man.
Looks like you two were about to bump the buoy. Well, here's the new Trojan Warm Sensations condom.
Warm?
Yes. Cool. A moisture-activated lubricant creates a warming sensation both can share.
I'm on board.
Warm sensation is done here.
Hey you, get MCSE, Cisco, or A+ certified, guaranteed, with Smart Certify's fast and easy IT certification courses.
If it wasn't for Smart Certify, I'd still be working a dead-end tech support job.
Smart Certify has one-on-one mentoring and a money-back guarantee. I couldn't lose.
Call 1-877-TRAINING today and mention code TCTV. Or go online at www.smartcertifieddirect.com to get a free course now.
Dear Bill, it's nice to plan a trip just the way you like it. I enjoy making new friends. That's me on the left. I kept telling him, it's just a knock-knock joke, you big silly. Oh my word, moving on swiftly. I kept looking. When she promised to write, I should have known. Yours very fondly, the Roaming Gnome. Book with Travelocity. Don't forget your hat.
Welcome back to the Screensavers. I'm Kevin Rose.
And I'm Patrick Norton. And the audience is happy. Coming up this half hour.
Either that or they're setting us up for the kill after the show. What did we give them? I don't know. I want some of that.
Flash Guru MD Dundon is here to show you how to add playback controls to your Flash animations. And, of course, more of your live questions.
Nice.
We like that. You ever see the check engine light? You ever look in a car, right? You ever see the little yellow, orange, it's like check engine light up there?
I freak out because I don't know anything about cars. I see that, I'm like, what do I do?
It's a good thing to freak out because sometimes the check engine light is a really big deal, right? It means, some important element in your car, has gone wrong. It can also mean that something really minor has gone wrong. Mm-hmm. It seems like a really major deal to the engine. But the check engine light is basically the computer inside of the car that runs it. And basically, what it's there is to tell you that it's time to go to the dealer, it's time to go to your mechanic, it's time to find out.
It's time to pay like $1,000 every time that happens to me.
Yeah, well, you know what? What's getting interesting is as of this is like based on onboard diagnostics or OBD, and OBD1 and OBD2. And previous in 1996 was OBD1. You basically take a little $30 thing and you plug it into your car, and it would flicker a bunch of lights. Kind of like it's like a postcode for your car.
Right.
So it basically says, this module isn't working or the O2 sensor isn't working. The O2 sensor doesn't working, there's a couple things that happen. One, you're not going to pass smog because no O2 sensor sits in your exhaust, tells you how much oxygen is present in the exhaust stream from the engine. The O2 sensor isn't working, you're going to get a bunch of things. You're not going to pass smog, you're going to get bad gas mileage.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
well, how many things does a computer that's sitting in the car, how many different things does it monitor? What are we talking like?
When you're talking like 1996 and 4, which is like the ODB2 stuff,
right?
Hundreds. There's some standardized stuff out there. It's like a standardized list of stuff that the kind of like the California Air Resources Board and the EPA and everybody sat down and put up a list of stuff that every auto manufacturer, you should be able to plug something in, and basically somewhere within a couple 3 feet there's like a standard distance from your steering where there's a plug that looks a lot like this. and you plug a cable like this or a gadget like this one into that, and that allows you to actually read the information that's stored on your computer.
Well, this sounds like a good idea because then you can find out what's wrong and your mechanic doesn't take you for a ride.
Exactly. The basic thing you can do with these is if you get a check engine light, you can plug it. You can buy one of the least expensive adapters, which are in that sort of $30 to $50 range.
Okay.
And you can plug it in, and it'll basically give you the error code. Then you can look up the error code online. Hopefully, what's kind of unfortunate is like while there's a bunch of public open error codes, the big auto manufacturers have their own sort of like we decided we wanted to be able to track these 278 different functionalities, but to get the rights to look at that information, you have to pay additional money. It's kind of really frustrating.
Can you show me how it works?
So basically, the one that's out there, one of the more notable ones is from Davis, and it's the drive-by car chip. There's the car chip and the car chip EX. This one sells for about $130. Okay. And it's got a pretty simple interface. It doesn't allow you to track a lot of stuff simultaneously, but it does make it really easy to use.
Is this USB going in the back here?
It's USB now. This one we have is actually an older serial one. Basically, you plug this into your car. It sits there and it tracks the information. Okay. So what I'm showing right here is one of the things they like to do. If you want to like track your teenager, it'll do things like tell you what's in terms of like how fast did they go, how long were they going, and it'll track a certain amount of time. What I also started looking at, it's like, okay, here's our airflow rate that's coming through the front end, so you can look at some of what the sensors are picking up, the throttle position, the battery voltage. You can set it up for all sorts of weird little items that you want to track. The summary, though, is what a lot of people really like, because if you want to see what somebody's doing, like, oh, that's obviously not my car, because it's illegal to do 78 in the state of California.
Of course not.
But what is really interesting is they have the ability to tell you, like, for like really extreme braking actions and acceleration. So if you can basically find out if somebody's constantly standing on the accelerator of the automobile. If you start getting fancier, you get to look at some of the charting information in there, and you can really start to figure out what's going on with the vehicle as you assign it to track certain elements. Now, if you take the next step up, the folks at B&B Electronics, they make the Auto Tap. They now have one that's USB enabled, but this is basically an interface that allows you to connect it to your PC. There's a couple different places that make these. They make some pretty nice software. It's about $190. It's not cheap.
Yeah, but when you mean to your PC, do you mean as the car is running and diagnose things in real time?
Exactly.
Okay.
Not from the driver's seat. What I usually do is I strap the computer into the passenger seat, and then I let it record the data. So what I can do, right, is I loaded some data. We do not compute and drive at the same time. I do a lot of dumb things, folks. I play with nitrogen and high voltage, but I do not use the computer while I'm driving. It's bad. So we're going to take a look at this. We're going to open up. I configured a file in this, and what I'm tracking is how the activity is going on those. Remember the oxygen sensors I mentioned? And when I hit play, it'll actually play back the information.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can send up a whole ton of information. Now, you see this stuff down here at the bottom? You can barely see it, but notice an oxygen sensor is supposed to be constantly varying. If I have an oxygen sensor that's not varying, whoops, I just crashed the software. Don't know how I managed that. If it's not moving properly, I now know that one of my oxygen sensors is dead, and that may be why my car is running rough. It's a tool to allow you to help things at the basic, inexpensive. Go to Kragen, go to your Pet Boys, whatever it is, for $30 or $50. You find out what that check engine light is. That's a great thing to go into the dealer with, because there's nothing worse than finding out. They're like, well, it's this and this and this and this. When you can know exactly what the car is telling you, that's a good place to start. Cool. I like to have more information.
Excellent.
Get your CarChip EX or AutoTap ODB2 diagnostic tool. You can hit their websites. It's davisnet.com. I can never say that one. Or AutoTap.com. Check it out. And right now, though, you should stay in your seats so you can find out if system requirements are really requirements or if they're more guidelines.
And up next, create user controls for your Flash animations. A Flash expert has all the steps. It's all when the screensavers continue.
Are you nuts? What are you doing?
I just closed my home equity loan with Ditech.com. I don't need these anymore.
Want to pay off credit cards, consolidate debts, and lower your monthly payments? Apply now for a no-closing cost home equity loan from Ditech.com.
So, you like yours well done, huh?
Log on to Ditech.com or call 1-800-DITECH-1.
Lord, they shooting at me. Give me the gun, give me the knife. It's true crimes, better run for your life. Hide your kids, hold your wife. It's true crimes, better jump your life.
True Crime, Streets of L.A., rated mature.
For dry, red eyes, clear eyes is awesome.
It removes redness and has an ingredient to moisturize. Wow. The difference is clear. Clear eyes.
It all starts with a chip. A chip that contains world-leading technology. Together with Samsung's superior engineering and design, it does so much more. It inspires. It enriches. It's the soul of Samsung, and it's in everything we create. Experience the power within. Samsung.
Get 3 free for a limited time at Gateway. Pick up select wireless notebooks and we'll double your RAM, upgrade your hard drive, and ship it all for free. You can take home one of our award-winning PCs, like the Wireless 200X with Intel Centrino mobile technology, and get a mind-bending 512 megabytes of RAM, an upgrade to a massive 60-gig hard drive, and shipping all for free. So call Gateway today for your 3 free on select notebooks.
G4ia, the award show for gamers, is starting soon.
A tool for good, a tool for evil. Flash is a tool that allows you to easily create cool low bandwidth animations just designed from the web, right from scratch. Resident Flash expert, teacher, and friend of the screensavers, MD Dundon, joins us with a word on how to control our Flash animations. Well, you know, you've seen, remember like the early like car ad days when they put like a 42 megabyte file? How big, how much stuff do you put in a Flash animation?
People in my classes don't come out with 42 megabyte files.
So pay attention.
That's right.
So what are we learning today?
Okay, we're going to take a little time to calm the furor down because people are like, I have to type my code in. Well, that's cool. We could do that. What we're going to do is we're going to put user controls in.
Okay.
Because animations need to have a play, a stop, a rewind, and it's actually really, really simple to do.
Very cool. So basically, when you talk about user controls, it sounds like, you know, scary UI. You're talking about like buttons and switches.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
So you can see on my screen right here, I have a play, a stop, and a rewind button. Nothing gets simpler than that one. But what we're going to do...
You got to hit play. They got to see the button.
Oh, we can't play yet because we haven't added our action. We'll get there. We'll get there.
And this is why user controls are important.
It's true, because up to this point, they can't do anything with those. So what we're going to look at is we're going to take a little gander at how this file is set up before we actually make our actions. And in the very first frame, we have a frame label. Now, frame labels are these really interesting things which are named places on the timeline.
Okay.
And you want to use a frame label rather than a frame number because let's say you went to frame 5 and all of your scripts and you had 300 buttons that all went to frame 5.
That's
and
a
then
lot of
suddenly,
buttons.
yeah, maybe you wouldn't want to have 300 buttons.
Perhaps
but
100.
Yeah, okay, just 100 for today. And you suddenly decide you want it to start in frame 10.
If you have a name, you just switch, you know,
You
Weasel
just move
to
it. You
frame
just
10.
move the frame label, so it makes it a lot easier. Now, in Flash, this is a really cool thing. Everything is controlled by an event. And what if we look really quickly here at this final frame action? The event for a frame action is the playback head arriving. Just like on your VCR, it's playing forward, it hits the action, and it says, boom, I got to do something.
Okay.
All right? Now, a button is a little different. The user has to interact with it. That's why it's called a user control. Ah, I know. Isn't that just so
Even I
sophisticated?
caught on.
I know. Now, here's the thing that's freaking people out. They're like, I have to type these actions in for this button.
So people are having bad flashbacks to like
Yeah.
logo and director
Lingo
and
and you know, oh my gosh, I have to understand these things.
No, you don't.
Let me introduce
You're here
you
to prove that even
Yeah.
I can code this.
Even you can code this. I swear, I swear. So on the left-hand side of my actions window, which is this big old panel here, I go ahead and I select my button instance. And I go and I look at the top here and it says Actions Button. That's how I know that I'm applying an action to a button rather than to a frame.
Okay.
That's a really important thing. And then I need some sort of an event. And we're going to use the release event, which is you press down with the mouse button and then you release off of it.
So you can have that moment of like, I'm pressing down, no, I don't want to do that, and I can pull away without
That's
stuff
all right.
happening.
That's without activating our button.
Okay.
Now, to do that, it says performs actions when a particular mouse event occurs. That means when you click on it. So we're going to go into Movie Clip Control, and we're going to double-click the On action. Did you see how it wrote everything for you?
We like that.
We like that. Now I'm going to choose from a menu, people. I'm going to choose Release. So on Release, wow, gosh, you can do it.
So you're saying you're not really typing in command so much as you're sort of right-clicking and selecting them.
Yeah, I think we can do that. Now, what do we want this button to do? Obviously, we want it to play.
Okay.
So can you see the play? Yeah.
I'm catching on to this.
Okay. Now we're going to put that play action in between these two curly brackets because that tells the computer that we want this to happen on release.
Now I see the parentheticals. Are we going to use that to point to what we want to play?
No, this is a dumb action. It just says, I know, it's like, oh man, this is just a really straightforward. It says wherever you are, go ahead and just start playing right from here.
Okay.
Now here's a little trick. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select everything in this thing, and I'm going to use my keyboard command on my computer, which is Command-C, to copy that, just like you would do in your word processing program. And then I'm going to select the stop button. I'm going to press right here in the window, and I'm going to paste.
Cool.
Ah, okay. Yet more no typing. I'm going to delete the play button, and I'm just going to change it to stop.
That makes sense.
Okay. Anything tough so far?
I'm with you.
All right.
The rewind, though, I know that's going to throw me for a
Okay,
loop.
the rewind. The rewind isn't going to be tough either. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy and paste it again. And then I'm just going to select, delete on the keyboard, and then I'm going to use one more. Now, you'll see two functions here. One is go to and play. The other is go to and stop. It goes to a frame label name and stops. Or it goes to a frame level name and plays. Okay, we're going to stop. We're going to have a rewind button that forces them. Now, what you'll see is that it's asking us for something. So, I have to type for the first time. Are you scared? Oh my God, what am I going to type?
Where's the little teddy bear that was floating around the set?
I'm telling you. Okay, the butterfly will come in just a minute, I promise. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the frame label name, which was Anim Start. And I'm going to put it into quotes because that tells the Flash player, hey, go look for a frame label named this exact thing.
Got it.
So all I did was go to and stop Anim Start. It's going to happen on release. Let's make sure that that's the correct label name, Anim Start. Oh, phew, I did it right.
We like it when things are
I know. All right, so let's try it out. Here we go. And it's already playing. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to rewind it. I'm going to play it.
Yay! Even I understood. Ladies and gentlemen, check out more of MD's great tutorials at her site, flash411.com. And fire up your browser and sign up for MD's online classes this summer. All coming up, well, sfsuonline.org is the place to find out. Coming up after the break, necessary, just guidelines. We're going to tell Laureen what's up with all those system requirements when she's looking at software and hardware. We're going to explain it all right after these messages.
Things in life that are the best. My best friend. The best shortcuts. The best cuts. And of course, the best place for these. My son. Chris, let me call you back. I'm a little busy.
Now at Radio Shack, find hot deals from Sanyo. Like this Sprint PCS Vision Ready Link Phone RL4920 by Sanyo. Just $49.99 with 2-year agreement.
Did I mention the best sport?
Radio Shack.
Looking for something more? Wider horizons, a fuller life? I was, and I found it, surprisingly close to home. I tried Fly for just $49 at my local flight school. All it took was the free certificate from Be a Pilot. I'm getting off the road and out of the crowd.
For your certificate, call 888-BE-A-PILOT or log on to beapilot.com.
Getting started was easy and well worth it. Try it. You'll be surprised.
TechTV's Digital Dig Sweepstakes. You could win a $100,000 tech makeover for your home, plus $500 daily cash prizes. From start to finish, bedroom to living room, we'll make over your home in the hottest tech stuff out there. To enter, watch G4 Tech TV anytime between 6 p.m. and 1 a.m. and look for the secret codes. Then log on to g4techtv.com/digitaldigs and enter the code. You can enter up to 4 times a day from June 14th to 27th. For more details, log on to g4techtv.com/digitaldigs. Brought to you by Circuit City and Yahoo.
Sure to catch tomorrow's show. Get the most out of your Mac with OS X hacks, tips, and tricks. And if program crashes or bugging you, Leo's got a tip to help diagnose your problems. And join us in the Screensavers LAN party where we'll be playing Battlefield 1942, the Desert Combat mod, all coming up on tomorrow's fine blended edition of the Screensavers.
Now, Lorraine joins us on the G4 Tech TV Netcam network.
Round of applause for Fu.
Good job, Dan. Getting that in there. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello?
Hi.
Are you calling us from Boca Raton?
Yes, I am.
Outstanding. Is it warm?
Very warm.
Is
It was like 102 today.
Is it sunny?
Very sunny.
Because it's like 43 and gray here in San Francisco, Lorraine, so
well,
we're
you need
jealous.
to come down to Boca Raton.
It's tempting.
Sounds nice.
We like that thought. How can we help you today, Lorraine?
Okay, I have I just bought a DVD burner from CompUSA, and it says on the system requirements, Pentium process can only be used with Pentium processor or higher. You know, 700 megahertz or higher, whatever. It can only be used with a Pentium processor. Can I also use it with an AMD Athlon equivalent processor?
Absolutely.
Not a problem.
Yeah. You know what that is, Lorraine? That's an example of someone getting really lazy when they were typing out the text for the graphics on the box. Because what they could have said is applicable for use for all Cyrex, Intel, and, AMD processors of 700 megahertz or better. You know what I mean? It kind of gets really... If you list every single processor it could run on...
Right.
You could literally fill half the box just listing those. What they really mean is Pentium equivalent, because the operating system that the software and the hardware you're buying talks to, the operating system, it doesn't really know or care that much if it's an AMD or an Intel processor.
The instruction set, the code on the chip, the x86 instruction set, they're both compatible with each other chip-wise, so there's no problems whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Are you installing this yourself?
Yeah, I'm building the computer myself.
Nice.
Outstanding.
I want to build a gaming machine.
Is this your first one, or have you built other machines before?
No, I'm right now on a computer that I built.
Nice.
I built it like 6 years ago.
Very cool.
I have to build another one.
What kind of what games are you going to be playing on this, Lorraine?
Far Cry?
I'd like to try Far Cry, yeah.
Nice.
Battlefield 1942 Vietnam.
Send me an email. I'll get you in our LAN party when we do Far Cry again. That would be
cool.
awesome.
Okay, I will.
Alrighty.
Thanks for the call, Lorraine.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for the call.
Now it's time to check in with Leo.
Leo?
For a quick tip.
I'm going to introduce you Mac users to the whole wide world of Unix software. One of the best things about OS X is that it's got BSD under the hood. It's a Unix machine, and there are thousands of wonderful Unix programs out there. But sometimes it can be a little tricky to install them if you don't know all the details and how to build and so forth. The first thing you got to do is, of course, install the developer tools, the C compiler on here, and you can download that from connect.apple.com. It's free. You got to register. Once you got the developer tools on here, I highly recommend Fink from fink.sourceforge.net. It's a free project designed to bring all the best open source software to OS X, and boy, it sure makes it easy. Fink has a command line interface that's as simple as typing Fink, install, and then your favorite Unix program, for instance, Joe, the text editor. I'll have to enter in my password, and I'll have to enter in it correctly, my administrator password, and then Fink will actually go out, download the source code it needs, and compile it automatically. By the time it's done, I'll have Joe, my little text editor installed on OS 10. There's an even easier way. Fink comes with Fink Commander, a GUI interface to it. And what's nice about it is you can see all the different packages, 1,498 different great Unix programs that you can install. Installing them is very simple. You just click on it and click the install button, and bada bing, bada boom, you'll have Unix software. Any Unix software practically that you want, including X Window and KDE and GNOME and everything, installed on your OS 10 box. Fink makes it easy. Fink.sourceforge.net. I'm going to keep on compiling and get back to you guys. See you later.
I love
It's
Fink.
not my hair.
I love Fink. I use Fink all the time. It's a great program.
And it just makes it so easy.
Yes.
Good
now,
tip.
Thanks, Leo. If you thought that tip was awesome, now here is Dan. Dan with his helpful tip.
Thank you, Kevin. If the My Documents folder isn't your first choice to save your docs in Word, you can change the default location very easily. What you do is go click on Tools and then go down to Options. Then click on the File Locations tab. And then under File Types, you'll see Documents. Make sure that's clicked on, and then go to Modify. And then from here, you just choose the folder that you want it to be saved in. It's that simple. Not bad. So there we are. Checking our inbox, see what's on your mind. All that when the screensavers come back.
We see Fiona exploring a new world filled with learning, filled with wonder. We see standing ovations and records beat. We see her graduating at the head of her class. We see kids full of potential. We're inspired to create software that helps them reach it.
Two of hip-hop's hottest stars are moving into America's most uptight neighborhood. Sorry about the mess. He's kicking it last night.
I have no idea what that means.
And when you're living this large, only one thing can slow you down.
Hey, Mama. Hi, Mama. Hi. That's what you get for smoking in the house.
Method and Red, putting the urban in suburban.
You hoochies better stay away from my meatloaf.
Meatloaf? Hoochies? Premiering Wednesday, June 16th on Fox.
On stoke.
Take on anyone, anywhere through wireless multiplayer gaming on the new N-Gage QD.
Looking for a new job? Look to the tech leader first at the Tech TV Career Center, powered by DICE. Just log on to techtv.com/techjobs and instantly search for tech job openings around the nation. Post your resume or create a job alert to receive fresh jobs daily in your email. Look to the tech leader first. The Tech TV Career Center, powered by DICE. Available right now at techtv.com/techjobs.
Players, next.
It's that time, Sarah. What's in the email pile?
Okay, first one comes from Gregory. At my new address, I'm too far away to get DSL service. Bummer. I can either get cable modem or get service from a wireless ISP. The wireless ISP advertises 3 megabits, 256 kilobits for cheaper than the cable modems at 1.5 megabits, 128 kilobits. What do you guys think?
Well, being owned by Comcast, we should probably say that cable modem is a superior option for online downloading. That said, cable modem actually, Leo used to have a cable modem. He lived and loved Bruce's cable modem. Cable modem is totally dependent on your local supplier. If they do a good job of maintaining the head end, you'll get incredible, speed in your connections. If they don't do a good job at maintaining the head end, you'll have a miserable experience, just like with DSL or with the wireless one.
Now, the wireless is going to be probably some type of proprietary technology. It's probably not going to be your 802.11b. If it was, you could always use NetStumbler to see what kind of connection you have.
And then if you own your house, and if maybe you have a spouse, it could be your husband or your wife, depending on how they feel about having a big giant dish or a funky antenna strapped to the side of your house. Some people get really upset at the funky antennas being strapped to the side of the house.
You know, I played around with some of the wireless technologies, like remember the Ricochet from here a couple years back, and they were all right. I would see it.
That was a vastly inferior sort of technology and situation.
I'm still saying I would sit down and test that technology first. Go to wherever their shop is, play with it, see if you can have like a free trial for a couple weeks.
Yeah, the nice thing about like the wireless internet providers like that is they're usually local. They usually have an office. There's usually like 4 people that work there. So you can get one of them on the phone if something's not working right. There's advantages either way. But
I've had cable modem in the past. I like it.
Yeah, cable modem is probably the way to go.
That is it for this edition of the Screensavers. I'm Kevin Rose.
And I'm Patrick Norton. Thanks for joining us. We'd like to thank our guest, MD Dundon, and we will see you next time.
Have a good night.